Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Paige, this is Seeking Alexandria, and look at the sun, guys. I upped the blind just a little bit so I could have like some sun poking through. I feel so awake and so alert and so happy that there's sun in the world. I honestly was beginning to think Michigan, we were never supposed to see sun again, so this is very happy and refreshing for me. I hope it's not too distracting for you guys, and I don't think it'll mess with the lighting in here. We're just gonna roll on through and do our foundation review, and actually we're gonna be shooting 2 videos today, so y'all will have already seen the first one, but there's gonna be 2 videos with light, and I'm pretty excited about it. So diving in, all of that aside, to the foundation for today, requested from you guys. This is a new one from Givenchy. It is their Givenchy Everwear foundation. I picked this up at Neiman Marcus. It was $52 for 1 full fluid ounce, and it was released in a wide range of shades. I'm pretty excited about it. I mean, 20 whole shades, all of which are pasty, and that's their deep section, guys. I mean, could you be more inclusive? Like, what? I've talked about this so many times. On a serious note, shade ranges like this are abysmal to me, and the only thing I can come up with as a reason that you would release this kind of a shade range is if you were doing it on purpose to try and gain notoriety, to try and gain some sort of like a factor surrounding your foundation, so that way people want to look at it, want to check it out, want to dive in. And I have to be honest, it completely turned me off to the point where I wasn't even going to review it. The only reason I picked it up is because I had so many requests from you guys. Aside from that, I wasn't even going to go anywhere near it. So I will still give it a full review. I will still check it out, all that good stuff. But like, just so you know, to me as a consumer, this sort of a thing completely turns me off, because I know why you're doing what you're doing. It's like you're trying to get that wow factor, but like in the complete opposite way. Like, imagine you could have gained a wow factor but done it by doing it the right way. Oh my god, like whatever would we do if companies learned that? So first of all, for me, like that's a huge big ol' like I do not love non-inclusive shade ranges, you guys know, especially if you're gonna sit there and be like, oh, but it costs money, and I'm sorry, first of all, you're Givenchy, so don't talk to me. Second of all, it's $52 for a foundation. I'm pretty sure you could have snuck, I think you could have worked it into your budget to include a couple more shades, just saying. So I'm gonna stop my rant now, because y'all know this Ferris wheel, honey, it goes doot-doot-doot-doot all day long, so I'm just gonna lock it in. So if I have to force myself to move past that 20 shade range situation, I'm going into the product description on Neiman Marcus. It says here that this is 24-hour wear, blurring, medium to full coverage, and hydrating. It gives you the power to control your complexion no matter how unpredictable life gets. Formulated to keep up with your pace of life, 24-hour couture foundation. It blurs imperfection, hydrates, and evens out the complexion to revive the skin's natural glow. Its moisturizing properties, medium to full coverage, and waterproof formula make this foundation your loyal ally. I picked this up in the shade Y200, which is not the lightest, because here was my thought process going into this, and I haven't checked yet, I could be way off, but my thought process was, if they curated all these pasty ass shades, if I go too light, nothing I own, like my concealers and powders, none of it will work, number one. Number two, I don't like to take my foundations super light to where they are even a little lighter than my skin, because they look so bad and like ashy. So I try to go like a little bit mid-range with this collection. So again, I went with Y200, and it is light to medium with neutral yellow undertones. And per usual, if you are new here, I have went ahead and primed and prepped my face already. Anytime I do a foundation review, I go in with 2 primers. I split them, that way I know, does it maybe like one type of a primer more than another. So for my control, I typically go in Tatcha Silk Canvas, which is on this side, and then on the other side I went in with my Peter Thomas Roth. This is their Skin to Die For no filter mattifying primer. I really like this. I've used it a ton, and I like it because it doesn't do like a harsh job with mattification. It just helps a little bit. Like, it's not super matte, it doesn't make me look dry, cakey Sahara, just a very light way to kind of relieve a little luminosity, which is good because I'm more normal to oily, so I typically need to balance it out, and this did say more of a satin kind of comfort look to it, and I don't want it to be overly dewy, and I want it to last as well as it can. So that's everything going on right now. Let's go ahead, open her up, and take a little look-see. The bottle is really pretty, full glass component, nice facet around the side here. Not mad at that. It's pretty plain. It actually reminds me a lot of the one from Physicians Formula, their foundation. This looks a lot like that. All right, so lid off. We have a pump. That is very good. Let's go ahead here, take a little squirty squirt. Your girl picked a real yellow shade. Girl, when they say yellow ass undertones, y'all are not kidding. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, hold on. I'm gonna have to pick my phone back up, because I feel like that, yet again, not the color that it was on the website. Hold on 1 second. I'd like to go on record by saying this is the girl in the photo wearing Y200. Absolutely not. No. Again, just like in the Pure video, which I recently released their 4-in-1 selfie foundation right here. I will link that review here. I did go by not only the picture of the foundation, but also the model, because my thought process is, hey, if this color is wearing it and this is how it matches up, that would probably be a decent match. And I went with her because her skin's a little deeper than mine, but not a ton. And does that look like that's what she's wearing? No, it doesn't. You know why? Because she doesn't look like a banana wearing this yellow ass shade. Oh my God. Okay. I'm good now. We're just going to keep moving on. So I will be applying the first half with a sponge, I think, and I'm going to be going in actually with my dollar sponge here from AOA, which I will link my full face of $1 makeup right up here for you. That is where I discovered this sponge. It's $1.88 on the Shop Miss A website. Very, very squishy. I like working with products after I review them for you guys, and I've actually been liking this one quite a bit. And I went to find my Fenty sponge today. Do you think I can find it? No. So this will be a good dupe for us today. And yeah, let's go ahead here. We're going to take some foundation on the back of the hand. I want to apply it to the skin. It's a very, very thin consistency. I'm going to go ahead and start kind of buffing that all over with my sponge. What does that smell? Oh my gosh. Very light perfume fragrance, of course, because it's like a high-end bougie ass brand and they have to put perfume in everything. But I have to say, it's actually pretty pleasant. Smells very nice. Like, do I think it needs it? Obviously no, but it smells good. So that has a very tight down, like powder finish to it. No luminosity at all. And I don't hate it. I definitely don't think in one pass you're going to get full coverage. I am curious though if we can build it up with a beauty sponge. So I'm going to go in one and a half-ish more pumps right here. Let's see if we can get that build on, girl. Yo, they took yellow undertone serious. Do you see how yellow this is? Like, am I crazy right now? Or is that literally Oompa Loompa style yellow orange situation? Yeah, so that really wasn't too buildable, at least in my opinion, with 2 coats. So I'm going to grab my Jeffree Star Morphe brush. This is the JS1. Really, really nice foundation brush. And I'm going to go in here. I'm going to grab, I think, let's go... You know what, we'll start with 1 pump right there, which is a lot less than what I've already got going on the other side. Okay, so that pump, literally don't even know where it went. So I'm going to grab a couple more pumps on the back of my hand and I'm going to place them like I did with the sponge. It could just be that this is a really, really thin liquidy foundation. So maybe it sucked down into the brush, which is totally my fault, not the foundation's. So now we're going to go ahead, now that I've got some dotted, and try this one more time here. Really work her in. Spreads really easily because it's such a thin viscosity, which is really, really nice. And I know what everybody's thinking. Paige, how are you going to fix this? I promise I can fix this. I've fixed worse, which I know sounds weird. What's funny is that this actually right here is almost the base shade for like probably 10 other foundations I've tried, where this is their lightest, and I can't tell you how many times that's happened. So I do think this is one of those rare foundations that you can apply with a brush and it looks really nice. As you can tell looking straight on, I do think the brush side is a little bit darker, which leads me to believe A, it has a little bit more product on it to get the coverage, but also B, I'm pretty sure this is oxidizing, and I'm going to test that theory. I'm going to take just a little bit here, and I'm going to take a little bit on my finger, as you can see, and we're just going to, oh yeah, oxidizing about a full shade and a half. That's cool. Great, love that. Now I'm going to go ahead here and try to even up both of these sides. So I don't think this side really needs much more in the way of being smoothed, but it does need a little bit more coverage, as you can see here and here. Even though the foundation is substantially darker on my skin tone, it's still not covering my acne. So I would say this is probably more of a medium coverage, not so much buildable to full situation. But I want to go ahead and try to even out the pigmentation overall between the 2 sides. Now I can tell you, as far as how it's sitting on the skin, it looks really, really nice. Very nice, light, powdery feeling on the skin. Doesn't feel heavy at all. I'm not mad at it, but I am going to go ahead now and begin the fun part. The part where I conceal. So I'm going to be taking my Too Faced Born This Way multi-use concealer here in the shade Swan, and I'm going to start taking this under the eye for concealer, blending it out, center of the forehead, chin, the jawline, a little bit on the neck, and I'm just going to work to blend this whole situation together as I do almost every time I do a foundation review, and we will go from there. I promise it'll get better. all done with that, we're going to go ahead now and set the under eye and the face. I'm going to be using my Maybelline Fit Me in 05 Fair. Oh, and also real quick, I literally just got both of my under eyes set. The foundation is still unset at this point. I just wanted to let you guys know, if you do not set your foundation, this actually settles down beautifully. If you don't have to set it, I don't think you would have to set this guy, because it looks beautiful on the skin, and it's slightly tacky with a light amount of transfer, but nothing too crazy. It just like settled down brilliantly. So I just wanted to throw that out there. Okay, now we're gonna set the rest of the face. All right, we are good. We are set. I'm actually really liking the way that this looks and feels on the skin. After I went in and set it, I will say it took away a little bit of the softness I was liking, but I think that'll come back once I set everything. But what I'm going to do real quick, as you guys know, I have to finish up the rest of my face, but I'm also going to go over, shoot another video, and then you will have already seen that. And then I'm going to come back on here, give you guys an update, what I'm thinking. It'll be probably an hour and a half from now, so we'll kind of see how everything looks once it's sunk and settled into the skin. And yeah, we're just going to dive right into all that. So hang tight and I will be right back. Whew, okay, you guys, it has actually been about 4 hours since I last saw you. I went ahead, I hopped over and I filmed this beautiful look, and if you haven't seen it, I will link it up here. It's on the new Spectral palette from Linda Hallberg. It is so beautiful. I had such a fun time playing around with it with you guys, creating something fun. So if you haven't seen this video, or even if you like the look and you want to try to recreate it with something you already have, go ahead and check that video out because it is so fun. So the beautiful eye look aside, let's go ahead and chat for a second about this foundation. I'm only seeing a couple of key issues right now. The first one being slight smile lines around my mouth. That's definitely something that I'm not a big fan of. It's not really bad, but it's definitely getting there, but we are about halfway through a wear test, so something to consider. I'm also seeing a little bit of like dry or cakiness around my mouth. Also not uncommon, but something to note. And then the Hulk line or the giant crease on my forehead does appear to be pretty much filled in and eaten up a lot of foundation, which is kind of a bummer because I did go through and set all of these areas the way I normally would. So it does tell me this foundation moves around a little bit more than I would like, which again, not that I don't have other foundations that do as well, but something to note. I will say overall, as far as how it's settling onto the skin, it looks beautiful. My pores are not emphasized. It's settled in stunningly. Like from the time that I went ahead and I got everything on, even before I started filming this video, I did notice that my skin was looking so nice and very pristine and like pressed into the pores, even without like setting sprays, because at that point I hadn't sprayed my face at all when I was shooting this video, and everything still was like perfectly set down. And normally in order for that press to happen, I have to go in with a setting spray, and I didn't with this one, and it's looked very nice this entire time. But you guys, that's everything there. I'm gonna run ahead, do my day, get some food, live my life, and I will step back on here in a few more hours, let you guys know how did everything wear, do the up close, you know the drill. So hang tight and I will be right back. Okay, you guys, it is officially the end of the night, and I am ready to give you my final updated thoughts and opinions of this Givenchy foundation. I'm sitting here, I'm cozy, I'm comfy, I got my old lady sweater on, and I am ready, honey. Like, when I look at myself in the monitor right now, I look like two different worlds. This is like awake, alive, happy, fantastic page, ready to like go slay the day. This page is like ready to lay in bed, watch Netflix, Hulu, and like live her best life up against a pillow and a heating pad. Like, I don't know what worlds these are, but honey, they do not go together. So let's go ahead and wrap this up. A couple things that I have noticed with this foundation as far as the cons go on how it lasted all day long. Number one, it did settle into the fine lines and cracks around my mouth and in between my eyebrows. Now, is that super uncommon? No, but it definitely did do it, especially on the Tatcha Silk Canvas side, a little bit more than on the other side, but still something to note. Is it awful? No, it didn't do it as bad as like the Tarte Found Sealer, but it's also not good either. It's like it's a pretty good in-between point. Now, around my mouth, I do still see a little bit of the dryness I was talking about the first time, just a little bit again on like the upper lip and the chin. It almost looks like dry, cakey, but not so bad. Again, it's not bad enough that I wouldn't wear it again, but it's just slight enough that I'm like, ooh, I don't like that. You know what I mean? Like, it's a slight dryness in that area specifically, but the rest of the face, the cheeks, everywhere looks really nice and glowy, but it doesn't look overly dewy or super oily. I will say up in like the highlighted region of my face, right through here on both planes, looks absolutely beautiful. Even this area, like right next to my nose, looks really nice and hydrated. It doesn't look overly so. It doesn't look like I'm oily, nothing like that. It just looks nice, and I would almost say like pristinely glowy. So overall, let's do some pros and cons for this foundation. So let's go con. Obviously, the shade range is absolutely atrocious. I'm not going to keep droning on about it because y'all know that Ferris wheel is going to keep on turning, but that's definitely a huge con for me. I also don't love the way that they depicted the shades that they did, how they said, oh, it either has a yellow base or a pink base. I hate that because the yellow base is so yellow, and I would imagine imagine the pink base is going to be like this Kylie bottle. Like it's going to be one way or all the way extreme the other. And let's face it, we don't all have that extreme of an undertone to where we would want to have so much yellow or so much pink in our foundation. Like to me, that just doesn't seem to be a realistic way to do things. And when they called this a yellow base, I mean, it was so yellow. Like more yellow than the Dior foundations, and those ones pull pretty yellow on me. So I don't love that about their foundations. I do feel like people are going to have a difficult time matching the undertone. Now to move into a couple things I really did enjoy. I love the way it settled onto the skin. It looks so nice and smooth, pressed into the pores, and it literally wore the same over the large areas of my face with no breakage for a long time, which is great. I love, love, love that. I do also love this light, luminous, dewy situation we have going on with my face. It looks very nice and healthy from all angles. I'm really, really enjoying that as well. The con, of course, what's going on around my mouth, the slight line and fine line settling that I have. I think if you do struggle more with fine lines and stuff like that, this would not be your friend, because I feel like it worked really well over the areas where I had no fine lines in that sense, and it worked better with texture. So this might be one of those like self-leveling, if you will, foundations. Overall, you guys, those are my thoughts. Leave me yours down below. Were you interested in this foundation? Are you excited? Is there something else you want to see? Remember to always leave your thoughts, opinions, comments, concerns, reviews you are curious about, products you want to see that you're excited they're getting released, all of that. Leave it down below. While you're down there leaving all that in the comments, don't forget you can also check me out on Instagram and on Twitter. They are both listed down below. They are hyperlinks, so all you have to do is click the link, then click follow. And if you haven't done so yet, please don't also forget you can subscribe and turn on your post notifications for this here YouTube channel, because y'all, I upload 5 videos a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. They go up bright and early between 6 and 7 a.m. my time here in Northern Michigan. And girl, it is a fun, fresh, early time. You get up, you get your man ready, you get your kids ready, you go to school, you go to work. I don't care where you're going, but you're gonna get up, do it bright and early, hang out with your mom, your dad, your dog, whatever. Do it with me every day with coffee, 6 a.m., 7 a.m. my time. Somewhere in between there. But you guys, that is it. Clearly I need to go to bed. Thank you all so much for watching. Please do not forget to have a great day, night, weekend, whatever it is when you're watching this, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Ride it, jump on it, my saddle's waiting. Ride it, my 90s self. I would have killed it in the 90s, yo. I would have killed it. Didn't I buy this from Nordy? You were Nordy, weren't you? Little Norder McNorderson. I am the powerful, the pleasurable, the indestructible Mushu. Givenchy Tint Couture Everwear Foundation. It is the one with the I literally don't know what word was about to come out of my mouth, but I do know I need some Lash lip sleeping mask. BRB, people. BRB.